I hear this all the time. Harrison, it is so hard to make content. And I get it. Most MSPs spend hours trying to make content, specifically blog posts. It's the greatest first step. But here's the thing, they post it on their website and then they let it die. And this is a big mistake. A single blog post can be turned into at least 10 pieces of content. And in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it, what you can do, and steps that you should take to make your blog posts as successful as possible. So that way, as you're going to create more content, you could take this and reverse engineer it for videos. You could reverse engineer it for podcasts. And this should give you a really, really solid foundation for driving in a nearly unlimited amount of leads into your business. How are you doing? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow by teaching you how to sell your services to generate the most amount of money for your business, how to generate an unlimited number of leads into your business, just like this video does. If you want to learn more, head over to growth-generators.com. We have our programs, MSP Heroes, which is great for all MSPs, or the Launchpad, ideal for brand new MSPs, as well as a ton of resources, a Discord with 1,400 plus members at this point, the podcast, the YouTube channel, even vendor perks that we are working out and trying to get more of. If you want to learn more, head over to growth-generators.com. There will be a link down below, and links for some of these things down below as well. So there's this big misconception that it is super hard to make content. Don't get me wrong. From somebody that makes content for a living, I get it. But we've all been there. We've all been struggling with social media posts, with emails, with videos, whatever it may be. And the thing is you probably actually don't need to worry about making all of those things all of the time. It's actually taking the content that you're making and either repurposing it or taking content that you've already made and repurposing it into a variety of different things. Now, I've pulled up any existing basically idea here, but we have to start somewhere. So where do we start? In this case, most MSPs, at least the ones I've spoken to, are starting to blog, which is fantastic. Creating blog posts is a great way to generate traffic to your website, right? You want to typically aim for a bit of a longer blog post. And what I mean by that is at least 800 to about 1,200 words, focusing on education and solves common problems that your dream customers are probably going to have. And I'm going to share an example and I'm going to go through exactly what I would do here. So I just have this 10 questions that will make you a MSP sales pro. Steal these. And truthfully, you should learn these and understand them, right? This is a blog post. It's something that we took and made a blog. Now, for the sake of this video, just pretend I just wrote the blog instead of taking a video and turning it into a blog. But you have to have something to begin with. You want to come up with who your dream customer is, and then you want to make a blog post that would solve or answer one of their questions or problems. And you want to create that. You want to make it as juicy as possible with as much detail as possible. And if you're like, Harrison, I don't want to give them the secret sauce. Give them the secret sauce. I promise you it is going to work out in your favor. But you have to do that. You have to have at least a baseline piece of content. Now, if you're like, Harrison, I'm not going to make a blog post, I want to make a podcast. Start with whatever foundational piece of content you're going to. Typically a blog, podcast, or video. It actually works across the board. And because I'm giving you all the secrets, if you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. But now that we have this content, right, I'm going to just share my screen again. And I want to talk about the content that we actually have. So in this case, 10 questions that will make you an MSP sales pro, right? We talk about some takeaways here, effect on client retention, communication techniques, active listening, right? And then discovery questions to ask prospects. They're all hidden throughout here, but you'd have to go through and you'd have to actually read it. It's designed to help you learn and know exactly what to ask. But here's the thing, right? We have this piece of content. Now, if this piece of content lived on the website, let's say rent free, that's great. At some point down the road, potentially in 3, 6, 9 months from now, Google will start to send traffic to us, hopefully. But what if we could do it much quicker? Well, the first thing that we want to do is we want to start to create some social media posts. And believe it or not, you can create a social media post to this blog post. You can use LinkedIn, Facebook, X. You can make an image on Instagram and drive people back. And you could come up with some other super catchy ideas, right? It doesn't have to be 10 questions. Maybe that's a bit long. Maybe it's the best question to ask to help you with MSP sales? Or what is the number one concern doctors have when it comes to HIPAA violations? Is it fines? Is it letting their patients know about the breach? Is it having to report it? What is the most important thing? But you could start directly with a social media post. This is huge. And if you're not sure exactly how to, you can go to Canva, right? Okay, it's completely free, canva.com, and you could just do an Instagram post, right? You don't have to go crazy. You could just come up with an Instagram post and you could find a template that you like. Keep in mind, if you don't have a premium account, if there is a crown on it, you do need a premium account, but there's thousands of free ones on here. Just find what you like and then go on LinkedIn and go on Facebook and all of these different other avenues and start to post it. You go to your home area, you hit start post, and you can go through and create a post, right? What do you want to talk about? And you could put that post right there. They even give you the option to write it with AI or rewrite it with AI. And if you've already written the blog, you can copy that, drop it in a chat GPT, and say, hey, can you turn this into a social media post? And then you come up with the catchy image. Trust me, it's not as hard as you actually think it is. Between Canva and posting it out on social media, it is the easiest thing in the world to do. Next, you could also turn this into an email. The thing that most people struggle with is, I don't want to sound salesy in my email. Spoiler, this is how you don't sound salesy. You can summarize that entire blog into an email and say, hey, if you want to learn more, go check it out. And you're providing value. It's not taking that sales technique and slamming it down their throat and forcing them into the sale. And you're like, oh, I don't like hitting send on it. It's, hey, I want to provide value to my dream customers. I think that this blog could help them, and it is your job, your duty to get that blog in front of them because it can actually help them. And that's what email does. It gives you a reason to email somebody without being like, hey, buy my services. It removes that and it gives you a reason to actually go out and send it. Now, the next thing that you can do, and hopefully you're following along, is create a graphic. And I've already brought up Canva here, but you can use Canva for a ton of different things. If you're not sure, you can use maybe a checklist, right? Or you can use some kind of other, right? Search for checklist. We'll just search for checklist. Here it is. There's a ton of different checklists on here that I can go out and steal. I can use maybe a flyer, right? If you want to turn it into a flyer, you can search a flyer, free delivery, whatever it is, you can find one that you like as far as a template goes and modify it. But you can really come up with anything. They even give you categories on here, and you could go through flyers, Instagram posts, resumes, business cards, posters, Facebook posts, right? Worksheet, infographic. If you want to create an infographic on here, you can just have infographics and you can have a nearly unlimited amount of infographics on there. But what if it was the 10 questions to get to a sale and I did each question as a point to get to the bottom, a nice little infographic? I can use that as, once again, posting it on my website. I could post it on social media. I could send it out through an email. I could even just send it out or DM people if I really want to. But you can use Canva or other programs like that, and you can post this out there, getting people to success because it's your duty to help them. Even if they're not paying you, you want to create content. There's 58% of you not subscribed. I think that's the number, not subscribed to this channel, but you're still watching because I want you to succeed. Whether or not you do me a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, or jump into the free Discord with 1,400 other MSPs, or jump into the MSP Heroes program, whatever it is. I want to provide as much value as I possibly can. And it's your job, right? That's my job. It's your job to do the same thing, even though it's for free. Trust me, it works. Now, the next thing to do, and I know this is going to terrify people, short video. Everyone is uncomfortable recording video in the beginning. I get it. You're not going to turn a blog post into a 10 or 15-minute video on your first video. Trust me, I understand. It's okay. But you could take out this little device. It's called a cell phone for people listening. And you can hit record. You turn it, you set it up, you set the camera, and you can go on selfie mode to begin with, right? And you could go through and hit that camera, right? It's quite literally that simple. And record it. Yes, your hands might be shaky. Set it up somewhere. Set it up, on, I don't know, a book stand or something like that. You can do a million different things. Actually, it's one of my favorite parts about the rock form case. Not a product placement or anything like that, but I do love this. I will link it down below. It sticks to everything. And I've recorded videos like this because it's easier, it just sticks there. You have to figure out what works best for you. But you could record a short video, talk about one section. You don't have to go through all of them. That's way too much work. And then you can post on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and all these other platforms to reach as many people as possible. And then you can mention, hey, if you enjoyed this kind of content, head over to our website at growth-generators.com/, I don't even know what my blog is. I think it's /blog. But you could go through and you can say that it works, right? We have our /blog, and you can get to our blogs. Yours is probably the same or similar. I can tell people to go there, and then they're taking that first initial step, and I'm not spamming them. I'm trying to give them value, and if they want to learn more, they can go and learn more about it. Next is you could make a slide deck. Now, I know everyone hates creating and doing more work, but hear me out. You could take your blog structure, easily turn it into slides, especially with ChatGPT, and you could share that on LinkedIn. You can record it at your computer. You could use it in webinars. It's a great way to create a bunch of different content that will actually hit home. Now, if you're terrified of video, the next thing that you could do is record a podcast. You don't need a super fancy microphone. Put in your AirPods and talk to your phone for 30 minutes or 15 minutes and create a short podcast episode. It's a fantastic way. Or an audio snippet. You can upload that to Spotify. You can upload that to SoundCloud, whatever podcast hosting platform that you want to use. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. You could even record that and put it behind an image for something like Facebook or LinkedIn. But it's all about getting it out there. That is the whole premise of this video, is getting it out there. And you're probably like, Harrison, a podcast episode is so easy. It is. You could sit back, relax. A $40 or $50 microphone will get you great quality audio in today's day and age, and I could not recommend it more. You could also build a checklist, kind of like what I talked about, but turning that in, right? If I wanted to create this into a checklist, I could go grab this all, drop in a ChatGPT, and you already saw I could throw a checklist inside of Canva, and it'll give me a bunch of different checklists if I wanted to create some kind of checklist or downloadable, whatever that style it is that you decide to pick from. But there's so many different options out there that you could go through and you could find something that you like and that already exists. There's tons and tons and tons of opportunities for you to succeed with this. And maybe you want to put it at the end of the blog or say, hey, download my free whatever XYZ thing checklist, and that could be your first leads. It's truly incredible. Now, if you're like, Harrison, I don't want to do that. I get it. I totally get it. You could also create client-facing training. That's another one. Either in the back end once they become a customer, and they can maybe refer you out, or you create a training for free and you put it on your website. Hey, if you want to watch my free training, we offer a bunch of free master classes that I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours on. You can go grab that at growth-generators.com/resources. You can do the exact same thing. Take that blog, stretch it out, build out a PowerPoint, teach somebody about it, and put it on your website and train people that actually come to your website. That is the best part about it. Now, last but not least, this should be a 10 if I did my math correctly. You have to do a couple different things. You want to republish and refresh. It's important to post a blog post, but you want to post to other platforms too. LinkedIn, you might even want to post on Medium, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is. But every 6 to 12 months, you can reuse that content. Little spoiler, I do something similar. I can't create that much original content all the time because there's only so many topics I could possibly think of. There is a limit to how good my brain is. But I can create new content that is better versions of the old content every 6 to 12 months for you guys. Right now, if you're a longtime subscriber, I've actually never made this video before, but if you're a brand new subscriber, congratulations, you got on a brand new one. But this is how you can do it. You can go make those videos. I made the best MSP video ever on how to start an MSP. And guess what? A year and change later, I made it again, in my opinion, even better. And that's the coolest part. So you could take your blogs, you could rework them, you can repurpose them over and over and over again. So if you want new content every single month, you got to make 12 blog posts. If you want one every week, you got to make 52 blog posts. I think you get the point, right? That is quite literally the process for massive, massive success when it comes to your content. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like button, subscribe button, notification bell. I love the heck out of you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.